The harder you push towards what you want, the harder life pushes back. And you've been told that that means that you're on the wrong path. It means the exact opposite. Think about it. The money block that won't break, the fear that grips you right before you put yourself out there. The no that's telling you not to go on stage. The force that's telling you to stay in the relationship that keeps opening up these old wounds that you are trying so hard to heal. The thing that's telling you that you can't make it. The thing that's telling you that this won't happen. And time again, you feel frustrated, you feel stuck. You have this why me season in your life with no evidence that you're failing. It's just tough. It's just hard. It's so hard for you to take a step forward. It's so hard for you to move in the right direction. But that should be saying something so deep to you, so heavy to you. Because when it comes to people who aren't meant to grow, people who don't want to grow, they don't ever feel this. They don't feel that resistance. They never move through life. They're just comfortable where they're at. They continue to be unbothered. No friction, no pressure. Nothing's pushing against anything that they do. They're just staying the same. So if you're the one feeling the resistance, the triggers, the pressure, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's not a sign that you're doing the wrong things. It's actually a sign that something inside of you is really trying to come out. And every force, everything that's within you that wants to keep you the same, that wants to maintain what feels comfortable. The enemy that is against your growth, against you becoming who God wants you to be, all of that resistance is coming at you. But today we're going to talk about that resistance, and we're going to actually call it what it is. Why it's getting stronger the closer you get to your potential. And how to use that as the fuel to keep you moving forward. So, the bigger your potential, the bigger your resistance. There's a law of physics, and I'm sure you already know it. I'm sure you've heard of it. Isaac Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So what that means is that pushing on something, it's going to push back with the same exact force. And here's what nobody really realizes is that same law governs your growth. The moment that you decide to evolve, or the moments that you decide to develop into a greater being, the greater purpose, or move in the direction that God wants you to move into. You grow mentally, you grow spiritually, physically, financially, you start growing. You're going to be met with an equal and opposite force of resistance. And here's the part that you have to use to reframe your entire life. The size of the resistance is the same proportion to the size of what you're trying to reach for. So if the resistance that you feel is enormous, most people don't understand that means that you have enormous potential. That you're about to birth, you're about to create, you're about to move into something that is so great. And a lot of times, if you are about to move into something that is not man-sized, but something that is God-sized, and honestly, if your dreams are not God-sized, you're not dreaming big enough. But if you're moving into something God-sized, you're going to experience so much resistance. Because the size of your potential is so great. Small pushback, small leap. Massive pushback, That's life telling you that the thing that is on the other side is so big, so monumental. And everything that wants you to stay normal, that wants you to stay the same, that wants you to stay where you are at, is going to come at you. It's going to try to stop you. But Romans chapter 5 says, suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. It's a process. The pushing isn't there to break you. It's there to build the version of you that can withhold, that can stand, that can hold up to what is coming. So you stopping that resistance. You pushing back, or you giving in, not pushing back, but giving in to that resistance is keeping you from reaching that potential. Use that resistance as not a stop sign, but as a measuring tape. Because it's not coming from out there, it's your old self. The thing that you have to understand, the enemy is in line with your flesh. And your flesh is going to die anyway, so it wants you to die with it. Your flesh is not going on. After this life is over, your flesh will disappear. It will go back to the dust. And so if it's not going to exist, it's going to cease to exist. It wants you to cease to exist with it. And so, yes, it's going to push back. Here's the greatest trick resistance ever played, is to convince you that it comes from the outside, that it's the other people. It's them saying no. It's them telling you can't. It's them not opening the doors. It's them not providing the opportunities. Your environment, your circumstance, the people around you, the economy, bad luck, whatever the case may be, the point is, outside of yourself, these are the things that are not holding you back. What's holding you back is that internal resistance, that internal struggle, the thing that's internally telling you that you can't, that you shouldn't, that it's too hard, it's too difficult. But that's the lie. It's your old identity, your old frequency that wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you the same. It wants to keep you in a place that it knows and it's used to and it's comfortable. So think about it this way. Your nervous system has one job, and that's to keep you alive by keeping you in what is familiar. So the moment that you try to become something new, something bigger, something outside of the system that it's used to, you're going to sound off these alarms, and your body is going to feel like it is a threat. And so that fear, that procrastination, that self-sabotage, that's not an enemy from the outside. That's an enemy from within trying to survive. It's going to put you into the survival mode. And it's going to keep you thinking that what you're doing is wrong, and what the old you, how you used to be, where you were, that's comfort. That's comfort. That's safe. That's familiar. And people choose familiar. And not that familiar. Honestly, they choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. Every single time. Because we do so much to stay away from pain. We don't want to experience pain. We want to ignore pain. And rather than experience the pain, they will risk the consequences of not growing. They will risk staying in the hell of not growing. Because it feels like safe. It feels safe to them. Even though it's killing them. Even though it's destroying them, it feels comfortable. It's something that's familiar. It's something they know. But you'll never know how great things are moving forward if you don't move forward. If you don't push past that resistance. It's not the world that's after you. It's the old you that's after you. The old you that should be dead and buried and gone. And every morning you get to decide whether you'll let it pull you back or move forward. It's your choice. So why the same lesson keeps coming back is the question. Let me tell you why you keep facing the same things over and over again. Every trigger, every setback that you keep facing, every I can't believe this is happening again. It's not random. It's not a glitch in the proverbial matrix. It's not a curse that keeps on repeating. It's the do you want to stay the old version of you, or are you willing to become who's actually capable of being something greater? That's it. That's the whole test. That's the whole test that it's trying to bring out. And the problem is you keep failing the test. I know for a fact I used to keep failing this test. Every time I was forced to do something greater, I would go back and fall into something familiar. Something that kept me safe because I knew. And the lesson kept returning time and time again, because it's going to keep returning until you pass the test. God has something so great on your life, and you keep he keeps sending this test to you. This test to you. And allowing you to go through this test of resistance from your flesh, resistance from the enemy, resistance from that state of wanting to be comfortable and safe. But you're doing everything in your life to avoid what is unfamiliar. And the unfamiliar could be far greater, and usually is far greater than what you're going through right now. So every time that surfacing of that wound, that block, that fear, none of this is being sent to punish you. That's not the objective of it. It's being pulled to the surface because it doesn't match who you are becoming. It doesn't match the life that God wants you to live. And it's time right now to face it and leave it behind. Too long you've been stuck. For far too long you've been stuck. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to face this resistance head on and go forward to where you should be. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to throw yourself into the deep end. That's not the point. You don't want to throw yourself into the deep end of transformation. Don't try to become a completely new person overnight. That is not the process. That's not how it works. You can't dramatically just leap and then hope to white knuckle into some massive transformation. Because all that's going to do is just the fastest way to send your nervous system into full alarm and to snap you right back into who you were. That's the quickest way to fail. Is trying to do too much too soon. It took you years to become this person. It's going to take some time to break out of it. And that's okay. You're going to have days that you fail. That's okay. You're going to have days that you're not successful. You're not going to do the thing that you wanted to do fully. You may do a part of it, but you won't do it all. And that's okay. That's a part of the transformation process. It's not that you're not successful. It's not that you're not making progress. You don't want to be overloaded and burnt out, trying to do too much, too fast, too soon. I learned that about myself because I didn't add 100 pounds to my body in one night. It was gradual. It was slow. It was over progressing. So as I started to make the transformation and I faced all the resistance and telling me not to do this, not to go out to the gym, not to do certain exercises, stay away from cardio, all these things telling me not to do that because it's going to be hard and it's going to be difficult and it's going to hurt. And if I was to go in there and get on the treadmill and run at a pace of 8 and try to do that for an hour, that's not possible. It's not going to happen. I'm going to fail within the first 5 minutes. Trust me. If I was to go onto the weight bar and put 4 plates of 45, trying to bench 225 off the rip, and I know I have not put heavy weight like that on since my early 20s. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it off the rack. And I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop because I know I'm going to feel some kind of way. No. You have to do what you're able to do. Your body has to adapt. So let your body adapt. Add a little bit of weight at a time. Put a little bit of pressure at a time. Start on the treadmill. Start with a walk, not a run, not a sprint. Get on the stair stepper at level 1, not level 6. I know you see all these other people doing it at level 6. You're not there. And that's okay. Because trust me, there was a time that they were on level 1 too. You're over here watching everybody else's work everywhere else. You don't write their book. You are writing your own. You're writing your own setting. You're writing your own book. Stop looking at everyone else's work and focus on yours. It's going to take time. Write one sentence at a time. That's how I wrote my book, one sentence at a time. That's how you should write yours. And that's how you should build your life. You build your life 1 hour at a time. You don't create everything overnight. That's not reality. You create it with tiny decisions that move you in the right direction. Because you already know where you're trying to go. You already know, you see yourself, you see your identity over there. You already know where you're trying to go. One step at a time to get there. Don't try to full sprint. Trust me, you're going to fall, you're going to break your ankle. It's not going to work. And then you're going to go back to where it's comfortable, where it's safe. So here's the key. Elite performers understand that identity change happens when you have to stack of evidence leaning against it. So they don't shrink the gap between the idea and execution. So what I'm trying to say is they see where they want to go. They're not trying to go the fast rate. They're not trying to figure out a way to shrink the gap and make it easier and quicker and faster. No, they understand that the smallest tasks, the things that they do little by little every day incrementally, grows over time. Because every small win, every brick is proof that you're becoming someone new. And they stack that evidence. They stack these each tiny little bricks that they lay to build the house. They're not trying to lay 30, 50 bricks a day. They're laying 1, 2 a day. And eventually then you can lay 4 or 5 a day. But that takes time to get there. And so, the question that changes everything, and this is what I want to leave you with when it comes down to shifting. Stop asking, why does this keep happening to me? And that question keeps you in this victim mentality. And all you're going to do is just stare at this blank wall because you're not going to move forward. Start asking a different question entirely. Ask, what version of me is this moment trying to retire? What is this smallness that it's asking me to outgrow? What part of me is ready to just completely be left behind? That's the questions that you got to ask. And you don't feel the difference immediately. You don't. You feel it over time, and a lot of times it's not the driver that sees it, it's the people in the back. The passengers are ones going to see it before you. When I started losing weight, I felt like I wasn't doing anything. I felt nothing was happening. And I would step on the scale, and trust me, it wasn't really going down a whole lot. But it was other people seeing, like, you look so different. Things are changing. They see it before you see it. And then over time, out of nowhere, you're just going to look in the mirror and you're like, oh, wow. I've lost a lot of weight. The scale may not say a whole lot different. Well, my scale says a whole lot different, but because I no longer just do cardio, I started lifting weights. Then the weight that's on my body changed from something else. It changed from fat to muscle. But the appearance, the way I look is a whole lot different than what it used to be. And now I have the evidence. I have the evidence that it's working. Now when the resistance comes, there's not options, there's not choices. I've already made decisions. I've decided to do this every single day. So the bigger your potential, the more life has to show you everything that you are not. The more that you can consciously, deliberately choose what you are, who you are, your identity. Resistance will never be an obstacle for your path. Because you understand that everything, all the power is internal. I have all the capability and ability to do what I need to do and what I'm called to do. So when that resistance tries to come up against you, you built so much evidence against it that it's nothing but just that voice, that fly just in the back of your head, that mosquito, that gnat that you just, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. It's gonna come. That old version is always gonna try to sneak back on you. It wants to be back. The flesh wants to please the flesh. Like it's always gonna want to be in a place that it feels is familiar. But if you stay consistent and do what you're supposed to do and do what you know to do, over time, it's going to make it easier and easier. So next time it hits this block, this fear, this trigger, the not again, I want you to do something radical. I want you to do something different. Think it. Why? Because that resistance is showing you something greater is coming. Because if I'm staying the same person, I don't feel any resistance. But when I start to change, when transformation comes, resistance is going to be there. It's a signal now for you that the right door is going to open. And when the right door is open, the problem is you have to be ready. So while you're waiting, while that resistance is coming, preparation needs to be happening. Do the things you need to be doing. You should be practicing your speech before that stage opens. You should be writing words down in a notebook. You should have several journals worth. Because when it's time for that book to come, when that door for that book to come, you need to be ready. When the opportunity comes, you need to be ready. So do the smallest steps anyway. One sentence, 1 hour, one decision, one step at a time. And that evidence, I'm telling you, is going to build. It's going to stack that evidence. So drop a like in the comments. Tell me what the resistance is that you are facing right now. And what are some of the small steps that you can take against that resistance every day? Because every week we are going deeper and stronger until we reach our potential, until we reach who we've been called to be. Like and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear, because they're right there at their breakthrough, but they're allowing that resistance to beat them down. Until next time, I'm Minister Crush. Peace.